What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Wager Zone podcast, and we're back with another UFC 305 breakdown, everybody. And yeah, guys, I left my mic at home on my Vegas trip, so I'm getting this video out late. I wasn't planning on actually doing it, but fuck it, guys, let's get it out. I don't know how this audio is actually going to come out, but hopefully it comes out great. But yeah, I'm just going to try to hurry up and get this video out because I'm trying to get my ass out in Vegas. So first bet of the day is going to be, we're going to be taking Stuart Nicoll in this fight. It's going to be Stuart Nicoll Stuart Nicoll actually versus Jesus Aguilar. We're going to be taking Stuart Nicoll via decision in this one. I think he's going to be able to get the takedowns with ease. Jesus Aguilar has shown that he hasn't been able to stop some takedowns. With the Tai Tuisara fight, he got taken down in the first 20 seconds of the fight. And then a fight against I forgot how to pronounce his name, but it's a Brazilian dude with blue hair, but I can't actually pronounce his name. But yeah, he also got a takedown as well, but he's not really a good level of fighter to actually be taking someone down right away like that. And I think he actually ended up losing the fight because he gassed out. But in this fight with Stuart Nicoll, he's not going to be gassing out. He's a guy that pushes the pressure on you the whole entire fight, and he's not going to stop. So I can see this fight maybe getting competitive in the third round, but by the time this third round comes around, I can see Stuart Nicoll be up two rounds to 0 already and probably win this fight 29-28. So I'm going to be taking Stuart Nicoll via decision. It's a plus 110 at the moment. I think it's a pretty good line if you want to turn that minus 200 into a plus money, because I do think this fight's going to go to decision. So yeah, guys, first bet of the day, we're going to be taking Stuart Nicoll by decision. Second bet of the day, this fight's going to be Song Kenan taking on Ricky Glenn. And on this fight, we're going to be making a 2-leg parlay. I'll let you know who I'm going to be parlaying this fight with, but I'm going to be taking Song Kenan on this fight. I think Ricky Glenn hasn't his style doesn't really transition to the new era of MMA where he kind of goes at you with the Armanari roll, and he just tries to pull guard all the time, and I don't really see that fight actually working against Song Kenan. And if Ricky Glenn actually tries to stand with Song Kenan, I can actually see him getting knocked out. I don't see him going to be able to get this fight taken down to the floor either. So I think Song Kenan is actually a really good play. He's a minus 205, so we're going to be parlaying him with another play. But yeah, for this fight, guys, I'm going to be taking Song Kenan, and I actually think he's going to be knocking out Ricky Glenn. Fight of the night, we're going to be taking Tom Nolan actually to win by knockout. We're going to make it a 3-leg parlay because Tom Nolan by knockout is actually a minus 500, and I honestly see why. Alex Reyes is a guy that hasn't really been doing great recently. He actually got knocked out really bad in his last performance, and he's getting up there in age. He is the brother of Dominic Reyes, but if you guys know anything about them, Alex Reyes is kind of like the less talented Reyes brother. So I'm going to be taking Tom Nolan in this first fight via knockout, and I think he's going to be it's going to be probably a highlight reel knockout, and I'm going to be adding him to a 3-leg parlay. I'm going to be putting him with the next fight I'm going to be breaking down, and then Erceg ML in the 3-leg parlay. So I'm going to be breaking down those other fights. But yeah, the first bet of the day and this parlay is going to be, not the first bet of the day, the first leg of this parlay is going to be Tom Nolan via fight of the night. It's going to be Jack Jenkins taking on Herbert Burns, and this is going to be the second leg of the parlay we're going to be making, and we're going to be taking Jack Jenkins to beat Herbert Burns. In my opinion, I think Herbert Burns is probably one of the worst fighters in this in the UFC. In my opinion, he's nothing like his older brother. Herbert Burns tends to give up right away. If the fight's not going his way, he tends to give up. He doesn't really have heart to be a fighter, in my opinion, and he has no gas tank. He has a good 2.5 minutes, and after 2.5 minutes of the first round, he starts gassing out, and I don't really think he's going to be able to do anything with Jack Jenkins. I think Jack Jenkins is going to be able to box him up. I think Jack Jenkins takes him down, and I don't think Herbert Burns' jiu-jitsu is actually going to be able to do well with Jack Jenkins. So I'm pretty confident in Jack Jenkins. He's a really big favorite at the moment. He's a minus 800 favorite, so we're going to be putting him in a parlay, but I see why he's a high favorite, because with the contender series going on right now, I can see this card actually leading to a lot of people getting dropped from the UFC roster just to bring these new young kids into the UFC. So yeah, guys, I'm going to be taking Jack Jenkins, and you guys better be saying bye to Herbert Burns, because we're probably not going to be seeing him in the UFC after this. If he wants to keep fighting, he can maybe go to PFL, maybe do something over there, but his UFC dreams are probably going to be over after this night, after Jack Jenkins beats him. So this is going to be the second leg of the parlay, guys, and like I said, the third leg of this parlay is going to be Erceg ML. But yeah, I'm going to be breaking down that fight later on in the video. So yeah, like I said, guys, Jack Jenkins, and he's a pretty confident player. Next fight with Casey O'Neill taking on Luana Santos. This is going to be the second leg of the parlay we're going to be putting with Song Kenan. We're going to be taking the over 2.5 in this fight. I was very close to taking Casey O'Neill via decision in this fight, because I do think Casey O'Neill is going to be able to get the takedowns and probably hold top control, while Luana Santos, for probably the first round only, is going to be throwing up submission attempts, maybe trying to get in her in a triangle and throwing armbar attempts up. But I don't think Casey O'Neill is going to be able to be getting caught gotten a submission. I think she's gonna be the bigger fighter. I think she's gonna get the takedown probably with pretty ease, because Luana Santos might accept the takedowns because she's pretty confident in her guard game. But I think Casey O'Neill's gonna be able to get the takedowns and win this fight via decision. So if you want to take the fight a winner, and you're a guy that likes to bet the fight to no matter what, you like to bet the winner of the fight, I say take Casey O'Neill. Casey O'Neill via decision is a good play, but I'm going to be taking the over 2.5. It saves you on both sides just in case Luana Santos does do really good in this fight. But I do think this fight is going to be going to the decision. So like I said, it's going to be the second leg of the parlay, and I'm going to be adding it with Song Kanan. Next fight of the night with Josh Culibao taking on Ricardo Ramos. And honestly, I don't really have a good read on this fight. This fight is a very close fight. I think this might be the most competitive fight of the night. I can see a way where Josh Culibao goes out there and wins this fight, and I can see a way where Ricardo Ramos wins this fight. I was more leaning towards the Ricardo Ramos side just because he throws the flashier shots and he's more precise with the punches he throws. But Josh Culibao has shown that he just likes to make a dogfight. When it turns into a dogfight, Josh Culibao, that's when he does his best. So if Josh Culibao can actually get inside and throw some mean hooks and mix in some takedowns, while Ricardo Ramos has shown that he doesn't really have great takedown defense, but he really has dynamic striking. So that's why I can see Ricardo Ramos end up getting a crazy knockout in this fight too. So like I said, I'm not going to be having too much of an investment fight. I don't think I'm going to be betting the fight at all. But if just to give you guys a pick, I'm probably going to be on the Ricardo Ramos side. I think it's going to be very competitive, where it could be a split decision victory, because it's going to be going back and forth where Josh Culibao lands the shots he likes, Ricardo Ramos lands the shots he likes. But yeah, guys, I'm going to be thinking either Ricardo Ramos gets a flash knockout within the first round, or if he doesn't get a flash knockout in the first round, I really think Ricardo Ramos is probably going to end up winning via decision, and maybe a split decision. So I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to be betting the fight, but just that's going to be a pick for you. I'm going to be picking Ricardo Ramos in this one. For this next fight, it's going to be Junior Tafa taking on Walter Walker. And honestly, I'm going to be taking Walter Walker, and I don't know why, but I'm kind of confident in him. He's actually plus money at the moment. This fight was a pick'em, but now I see more money has been coming in on Junior Tafa. I think I said Justin Tafa, but I meant Junior Tafa. But yeah, I honestly don't think Junior Tafa is that good at all. Like his last fight against De Lima, he's supposed to be a really great kickboxer. Like that's what he does. He came into the UFC known as he is a great kickboxer, and he went in there and De Lima just kicked his leg out within the first 2-3 minutes of the fight, and he couldn't even stand anymore. And the fight was basically over because he couldn't even check a kick. So if you were brought here to be a kickboxer and you can't even check a kick from De Lima, who I think De Lima is one of the bad fighters in the UFC, and also where I've seen that Junior Tafa doesn't show that he can stop a takedown really. And if you know anything about Walter Walker, he is Johnny Walker's brother, but he doesn't fight anything like Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker likes to stand and bang with you, throw some flashy shots, but Walter Walker's striking is actually pretty limited, and he just takes you down over and over again. He was fighting in Japan. He fought a lot of low level competition. He fought in Japan. He fought in Russia. He was fighting in different organizations, but what he does is he takes you down and he likes to control you the whole fight. And honestly, I think this is going to be a very low level fight where both these guys probably end up gassing out. And that's the reason why I'm going to be on the Walter Walker side, because even if Walter Walker gasses out, like a lot of people will probably think he's going to do it, I think Junior Tafa's probably going to gas out too, and he's not going to be able to either stop any more takedowns from Walter Walker, even if he's tired, or he's not even going to be able to land the hard shot that people think. So I'm going to be on the Walter Walker side. I think Junior Tafa's on his way out of the UFC, and I think Walter Walker is going to end up winning this fight, and probably I'm going to be fading him probably soon in the UFC as well. But I do think Junior Tafa is going to be dropped from the UFC after this fight, because he's going to be showing that he's very low level. And yeah, guys, like I said, I'm going to be on the Walter Walker side, and he's going to be plus money. So yeah, I'm going to be on the Walter Walker. I'm out of here. This one, it's going to be Li Lang taking on Carlos Prates, and this is a fight I'm probably going to be putting a small amount of money on, but it's going to be a very close fight in my opinion. I could see Carlos Prates knocking out Li Lang really quick, or Li Lang making this into a dogfight where he makes some takedowns in and ends up winning a decision victory. But with Li Lang coming off a spinal injury, and he was out of the UFC for a while, and now he's coming back into the UFC, it kind of scares me with his age being 36 years old, coming off a spinal injury, so it doesn't really show like a lot of promise. And when you hear that, but with Carlos Prates, I don't really see that he has the good takedown defense. I see that he hits really hard. He has really sniper-like striking, and if he ends up landing a shot really quick on Li Lang, he could probably get a knockout. But with the price tag as it is, I see Li Jingliang at a price at like plus 250 in some books, and I don't see how this fight is not even closer. Maybe they're taking in the spinal injury, the bookies are, but I'm going to be on the Li Jingliang side. I'm probably not going to be putting too much on this if I do end up betting it, but yeah, I'm going to be on the Li Jingliang side. I think he's going to end up making this a dog fight, and Carlos Prontes hasn't been in a dog fight, and he hasn't really shown that he has the gas tank to go all 3 rounds like Li Jingliang has, and Li Jingliang has shown that he's a dog. Even when he fought Daniel Rodriguez, when Daniel Rodriguez outweighed him by a lot of weight, and I still thought Li Jingliang actually won that fight, and they gave it to D-Rod, but it just shows Li Jingliang is actually a dog and he likes to fight. So like I said, I'm going to be on the Li Jingliang to win this one, guys. This one, Dana White just gave us a banger for this fight. It's going to be Tai Tuivasa versus Jorginho Rosenstruck. And this one, I'm going to be on the Jorginho side. I think he's going to end up knocking out Tai Tuivasa. I like Tai Tuivasa a lot, guys. I've been a big fan of him for a while, but now ever since he moved to Abu Dhabi and he started training in, I think it was Dubai he trains in now, and it's kind of just like he ruined his whole entire like side. Now it's like he's living the rich life over there in Dubai, and it's like ever since he moved over there with that new team and they put a lot of money invested in him, he started to lose his chin and started to get knocked out. So Dana White didn't give him any promise good fight with this one, where he's fighting Biggie Boy. Biggie Boy has that death touch. If he does hit you on the chin, you're gonna go down. And where Tai Tuivasa has shown recently that he really can't take a shot anymore. Even though I like the guy a lot, and if he wins this fight, I'm still gonna be happy for him. Even though if I lose the wager, I'm gonna be happy that Tai Tuivasa won the fight. Hopefully, he does a shoey out there, but I'm going to be on the Biggie Boy side. I think this fight's going to come down to who lands first, and I think Biggie Boy is going to land first. I think he has the faster hands. I think he hits harder, and I think he has a better chin at this moment. And if this fight was like 3 years ago, guys, I'd be taking Tai Tuivasa, but now I just think he's way over the end, and I think like Dana White should just maybe drop him after. If he loses again, maybe just let the guy go. Let him go to PFL, win $1 million. Put Tai Tuivasa in PFL. He can go out there and win $1 million. He can go out there and knock out some guys in PFL. So, yeah, guys, I'm going to be on the Biggie Boy side. I think he's going to end up getting the knockout, and that's going to be my wager. I'm going to be placing the wager on Jorginho Rosenstruck by knockout. And, yeah, guys, that is a plus money at the moment. And yeah, I'm going to be on Jorginho for this fight. All right, guys, this is going to be the third leg of that parlay. Like I said, it's going to be Erceg ML. I'm going to be taking him over Dan Hooker. I see a lot of people actually think Dan Hooker has a chance. I've seen people on different breakdowns and people in the UFC talking about this fight, and a lot of people think Dan Hooker has a good shot, but I'm actually really confident in Erceg ML. Some people have said they think Erceg ML is going to go out there and strike with Dan Hooker, and Dan Hooker is going to end up knocking him out, just because people have seen recently, people have changed their game plans just because of Dana White has said that he doesn't, I guess the matchmakers don't like people that just shoot takedowns over and over again. But I don't think Erceg ML cares. Like, he's going to be a top 5 fighter. Every single fight he is in, it's entertaining. I don't care if he is a boring fighter for anyone says, but I just think he's a really good fighter. I think he's going to be able to take down Dan Hooker over and over again. I don't think Dan Hooker has the takedown defense to stop it. I think Dan Hooker is getting up there in age, and I don't think he's going to be able to last that long in the UFC anymore with this high-level ranking. And yeah, guys, this is going to be the third leg of that parlay, and I'm going to be taking Erceg ML. This one is another play I'm actually kind of confident in. This fight is Kai Kara-France taking on Steve Erceg. I'm going to be on the Steve Erceg side, guys. I'm going to place a money line bet on him. I'm pretty confident in Astro Boy. He showed me a lot in the fight with Pantoja. I went and put my money on Pantoja. I had a wager with Pantoja, and Steve Erceg had me shaking in my boots watching this fight, guys. I was sitting there just like, this fight was way too close to I actually thought it was. I thought Pantoja was going to go out there and get the takedowns and dominate him on the floor, but Steve Erceg showed me a lot that he's actually no joke at all. This guy has everything, almost all the skills in the UFC to become a champion. And if it wasn't for just one little mistake, I think Steve Erceg would have been champion. But Kai Kara-France is a great fighter. He's a dynamic striker, but I don't think he's going to be able to grapple with Steve Erceg. I think Steve Erceg has the striking to be able to keep up with Kai Kara-France. Maybe it's even. Maybe Kai Kara has a little bit better striking. But if it comes down to the grappling as well, Steve Erceg is going to honestly dominate Kai Kara. I think Kai Kara might end up getting submitted in this fight if Steve Erceg wants to go this route. But even if it ends up a stand and bang fight, I think Steve Erceg could still pull it off. But yeah, guys, I'm pretty confident. I'm going to be taking Steve Erceg to win this one. Guys, this is going to be the main event of the night, and this is going to be Dricus Du Plessis taking on Israel Adesanya. Yeah, guys, this fight has a lot of bad blood in it. This is coming down to a lot of uncomfortable stuff a lot of people don't really like to talk about, with Dricus saying he's the real African in Africa, and Izzy coming in there making a scene at the face-off they had in the UFC when Dricus won his championship. But it's going to be kind of wild when this actually happened. When they actually face off in the ring. Like, this fight has been a long time coming. A lot of people have been waiting, and it's funny how it ended up being. A lot of people thought Israel was going to be the champion and Dricus was going to be the challenger. And now when the fight actually happens, Dricus is the champion and Izzy's the challenger. It's funny how life works sometimes. But I've been going back and forth all week on this, guys. I'm not confident in my prediction. I'm going to be placing a bet on it because I'm a degenerate gambler and I got to have money on the main event. And I'm going to be on the Dricus Du Plessis side, guys. I think he's going to end up getting the takedowns. I think his striking is pretty decent. I think he's going to be able to just put the pressure on Izzy. I know if this was Izzy 2-3 years ago, guys, I'll be picking Israel Adesanya all day. I'll probably be taking him to win by knockout, but I just think he's on his way out. I don't know why. I think Izzy is done. I'm not saying that Izzy can't fight and can't beat competition anymore, but I'm just saying I don't think Izzy's gonna be the champion as much anymore. I think the game has evolved. I think Dricus has shown he is like living proof of how the game of mixed martial arts has evolved recently. And yeah, guys, I'm going to be on the Dricus Du Plessis side. I think he's going to be able to get some takedowns with mixing some good striking. And yeah, I think he's going to win this fight via decision. He's shown that he took down Sean Strickland 7 times. He took down Robert Whittaker. So that just proves enough to me that this guy has all the tools to stay champion and do exactly what he says he's going to do. So I'm going to be on the Dricus Du Plessis side. I'm going to be taking him to win this fight. And I'm going to be taking him actually via decision. I don't think he actually finishes Israel Adesanya, but I'm going to be taking Dricus Du Plessis via decision in this one. And all right, guys, I'm going to be heading out of here. I got a lot of stuff to do in Vegas today. I will be at the Craig Jones Invitational tonight, and I also will be watching UFC 305 while I am there. Like the video, comment on the video. Let me know if you guys have any bets. Let me know if you guys disagree with anything I have. Subscribe to the page. Come back every single day. I post soccer here as well. I didn't post anything today, guys. If you guys coming for my soccer bets, I had a lot of stuff to do this morning. I didn't have my mic with me, so I hope the audio came out good for this video, enough for you guys to actually understand it. But all right, guys, I'm gonna be heading out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll post a video tomorrow morning, and I'm gonna be out of here, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm out of here.